Well, well, well. It's time again to talk about the convention committee reports for the 2024 gathering of the North Carolina Republican Party. If you want to follow along with me, you want to go to, it's all one word, is NCGOP convention, again all one word, NCGOP convention .org, NCGOP convention.org. And in the middle of that webpage, there's a little tab. It's called Business. You're going to click on the Business tab, and then it'll have credentials, rules, platform, planarization, etc., etc. Okay, so we have lots to talk about and limited time. And so let's go ahead and get started. This year I'm going to do something a little bit different and talk. Actually, I'm actually going to talk about the credentials report. Now, at the convention, you'll have a credentials report of all the delegates that are attending the state convention. But I'm actually going to talk about the pre-convention credentials report, and that is a listing of all the counties and the number of delegates that attended the county conventions. Why is that important? Well, each county gets a allotment of delegate slots, and that number is based on for every 100 registered voters and registered Republicans in a voting precinct, you get one delegate. And you add that number up county-wide, and you get something like Alamance County has an allotment of 151 delegates. Now, 94 actually attended their county convention. And I'm not going to go into every single county on this report, but I just think it's kind of nice to see the counties that are matching or even exceeding their delegate allotment. So, for example, Allegheny County, their maximum number of delegates is 15, but they had 12 attend the convention, so very close. Anson County had matched their delegate numbers 14, but they actually had 20 attend. So it goes 14 delegates, 6 alternates. And then going down the list here, Bertie County, out in the eastern part of the state, had 7 delegates attend. Now, that doesn't seem like much, but Bertie is a very rural county, and 8 is their delegate maximum number, their max number, I should say. Going down the list here a little bit more, we have Chatham County, which is between Wake County and Randolph County. The east half of the state is very blue, but you go to the west half of the county, very red. And their numbers are, they had 62 delegates, but 59 was their allotment, so they went over. That's really good. Chowan County, out in the northeast part of the state, had 16 delegates. Their max was 15. Clay County, 19 delegates. 21 was their allotment, so they were very close to going over. Cleveland County, 98 delegates down in the sort of the southwest part of the state. 98 delegates, 108 was their max number. And let's see. Going down the list here a little more. Just bear with me. Gates County, northeast part of the state, very rural county again. 10 delegates, 10 attended, so they matched. Graham County, okay, 14 delegates was their max. Well, they had 28 attend their convention. Very good. My county of Guilford, our delegate allotment is 361. Well, we had 129 attend our convention. Harnett had 127, had 135. Their max was 128. Max allotments. Hyde County had 5. Their max allotment was 4, so they maxed out. Lee County, home of the great Jim Womack, 51 delegates was their max. They had 50 attend their county convention. Very good. Macon County, or Macon County, as Phil Liggett would say, had 55 attend. 53 was their max. Okay, and then you get to a big county. 628 is Mecklenburg County's delegate allotment. Well, they only had 261 attend their county convention, so yeah. The Blue Republic of Mecklenburg. Montgomery County had 31 people attend their convention. 27 was their max allotments. Northampton, 8 was their delegate allotment. They had 1 person attend their convention, so I guess they got to have somebody. You can be delegate and you can be convention chair or something like that. And let's see, what else do I have here? It's just fun to look at this information. At least I think it is. Rutherford County, out central west part of the state, 88 delegates, 82 was their max allotment. Scotland County, down just a little south and west of Fayetteville, 24 delegates attended, 20 was their max allotment. Swain County matched 15-15. Tyrrell County, out towards the Outer Banks and Nags Head, the county just before you get to Dare County, which has Nags Head. Tyrrell County had 3 was their allotment. 1 person attended the convention. And it looks like the only county that had 0 people attend was Warren County. That's up near the Virginia border, probably about 30 or 40 miles northeast of Raleigh. 11 is their delegate allotment. Washington County, 7 was their allotment. 10 was how many people attended. And Yancey County, get this, their max was 23, but they had 37 attend their convention. And Wake County, 717 is their delegate allotment. Well, they had 711 attend their convention. Oh, thank heaven. So I think that's some pretty cool stuff there. Let's see, where do I want to go now? Rules. Ah, yes, the Rules Committee. Rules. Got some new information here. Rule 9A. Voting on all nominations pursuant to Rule 10 shall be by roll call vote by paper ballot provided. However, if only 1 person or 1 slate is nominated, then and in that event, no roll call vote by paper ballot shall be taken, and the nominee or slate shall be elected by acclamation. 9B says voting in all other matters shall be conducted at the discretion of the convention chair by roll call vote, by paper ballot, voice vote, or stand-in of the delegates. Skipping down to Rule 9D. For purposes of a roll call vote by paper ballot, the method of voting within each county delegation shall be by a caucus of the delegation. The vote shall be counted by the county chair or county delegation leader. The county chair or the county delegation leader will report the total number of delegates on the floor of the convention from the county, followed by the number of votes cast for each nominee, or upon any other question presented for a vote. At the conclusion of voting, the votes shall be displayed for the convention to view. And then Rule 9E, one of probably my favorite rule this year because of all the shit that happened last year. Rule 9E says there shall be no electronic voting. And then 9G, delegates casting a vote must be on the floor of the convention at the time such vote is cast. Actually, I lied. G is my favorite rule. My second favorite is there shall be no electronic voting. Boy, my allergies. Excuse me. Yeah. Because last year during the voting for the chairman's election, we had reports that people could vote in Wisconsin. People could vote down in Wilmington, near Wrightsville Beach. It was crazy. Okay, and then in the rule packet you will see a lot of information about rules for nominating the national committee man, committee woman, as well as delegates, alternate delegates to the Republican National Convention, as well as presidential electors and alternate presidential electors. And that process I'll talk about in a future video as it actually plays out at the convention next month. Okay, now let's see, where do I want to go now? Resolutions. Last year we had 6 resolutions. This year we have 12 resolutions. Let's see. Let's go to resolutions report here. Okay. And again, notice that the names of the people on the resolutions committee is an unsolved mystery. Yeah, I don't see the names of the people on here, but let me go ahead and read to you the thesis statement, if you will, for these for the 12 resolutions that will be presented at this year's state convention. Let me see. Okay. It says, resolutions are where ideas emerge. Though lacking the binding force of law, rules, or regulation, resolutions possess the potent ability to influence and communicate messages. They embody flexibility and are capable of addressing emergent issues and igniting discourse that may shape future party platforms or tackle present-day concerns. Amidst a flurry of activity, the committee received over 50 distinct resolutions spanning nearly 20 diverse topics. adhering to organizational protocols, mandating reports 30 days ahead of convention. The deadline was advanced, albeit overlapping with certain district conventions. Nonetheless, each district managed timely submissions, and fortunately, late submissions were already covered by earlier district reports. Each district chair was very understanding in submitting their resolutions early in order to comply with the time constraints. Now, what that paragraph I just read kind of goes to is every 4 years, the state convention, we are mandated by the Republican National Committee, right, the National Party. The NCGOP is mandated to have the convention actually has to happen before May 30th, I think is what they say. It has to be an average of 2 weeks earlier than all the other state conventions. All the other state conventions that are in non-presidential election years happen usually the first, second weekend in June. But in a presidential year, the state convention has to happen generally no later than the second or third weekend in May. And that is because the RNC has imposed deadlines, to get the National Convention delegates processed, get their paperwork and all that other stuff through in a timely manner, because the National Convention is in the middle of July. So you need at least a good 2 months or so to get everything processed for National Convention. So in order to know, in order to have the National Convention, you have to have your state convention like 2 months ahead of time, so that you can determine who's going to go to represent your state and your congressional district at the National Convention. Now, in North Carolina, what happens is we've always been under a calendar of March as your county conventions, and April you can have your district conventions. Well, the problem this year is that districts can have their convention on any date in April. Well, the problem is this upcoming weekend, this Saturday, the 27th, is actually 27 days until the state convention. Usually you have to have a 30-day window for people to look at the resolutions, but this year there's a little bit more flexibility with that, and there's an encouragement from the resolutions committee to talk to the district chairs earlier to get the resolutions processed. So there you have it. Hope I explained that well for you. So this thesis statement goes on to say medical freedom and support for Israel commanded the majority of submissions. Multiple submissions are reconciled into a single resolution for each topic, if possible, while attempting to preserve the ideas of various authors approaching the same issue. A record 3 resolutions emerged from over a dozen variations of the medical freedom topic. For example, in order to comprehensively cover the breadth of the ideas from multiple authors, 3 resolutions rather than one seemed to best to illuminate the topical points. There were over 30 additional topics. Narrowing the excellent submissions is always a daunting task that must undergo debate, editing, reconciliation, and formatting in order to streamline a viable product for consideration by the convention floor. We can assure the convention that each has undergone thorough review and vigorous debate. Contained within this report are the foremost resolutions, when possible, prioritizing those endorsed at district conventions and featuring actionable directives concerning ongoing legislation or contemporary issues. The committee thanks each district and author, as every resolution was compelling. Each underwent thorough consideration and all received a positive reception. Many submissions that did not make it through committee were still either directed to other committees if best addressed by other venues, while many were forwarded to state legislatures for further review and action. The committee had a diversity of thought that seems to reflect the spirit of the Republican Party, and hereby submits these resolutions for consideration as a unifying force for 2024. Respectfully submitted, Philip Stevens, Chairman of the NCGOP Resolutions Committee. Okay. All right, so we have, first of all, some of these I'm going to read. It just depends on what I think is interesting. Hold on. Okay. We have a resolution opposing anti-Semitism. That one you probably heard a lot in the news. It was submitted by 2nd Congressional District, 4th Congressional District, and 13th Congressional District. Let's see. This next one is... This one's pretty doggone important, I think. This is the resolution in support of revising North Carolina General Statute 115C-10 to allow for the 2 election of members of the North Carolina State Board of Education by election ballot. Whereas recent legislation enacted by the North Carolina General Assembly supports the voice, will, and rights of North Carolina citizens concerning public education in the form of the Parents' Bill of Rights, school voucher programs, and charter schools. And whereas current legislation under NC General Statute 115C-10 provides for the appointment of 1 member of North Carolina State Board of Education from each of 8 regional educational districts for 8-year overlapping terms by the governor of North Carolina. And whereas the North Carolina General Assembly is required to confirm the governor's appointees to represent the 8 education districts, and whereas these appointees as a board develop and adopt policies on primary and secondary education for all public school units and leading education agencies, affecting funding, administration, curriculum, safety, parental student rights, and parental public involvement. And whereas seating these political appointees to office on the NC State Board of Education is inconsistent with respecting the free and independent voice, will, and rights of the voters of North Carolina to elect those who represent them concerning primary and secondary education issues. Therefore, be it resolved that the North Carolina Republican Party strongly and fervently support and demand that North Carolina General Statute 115C-10 be revised to allow for the election of members to the State Board of Education by the citizens residing in counties within the boundaries of their respective educational districts consistent with the method for electing all other elected officials in the state of North Carolina, as each hold such broad authority, touching every aspect of the lives touching every aspect of life for the citizens of North Carolina. This was submitted by District 1, District 5. Hey, that's my district. Caldwell County, Craven County, Jackson County, as well as Union County. Next one's a resolution regarding cash as freedom. That one doesn't really interest me that much. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pause this right here, and we'll do part 2 later this afternoon. Pick it up with a lot more resolutions, and then we have platform and plan organization. Yippee! I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.